Hey everybody, today we're going to take a look at the reveal trailer that was just released for the Capcom Retrostation mini console on today's episode of Retro Time. Alright, so let's just get right into it. This is a Capcom licensed product by Tron. So they paid a nice penny for the Capcom license, so there you go. Capcom. Big old giant Capcom logo on the back. They used blue and yellow theming on the system itself, just to kind of match that Capcom logo. 6-button control layout. Nice little arcade stick, joystick, ball top. And there's a system with 10 games. It features 10 games from Street Fighter and Mega Man. 2 arcade versions, or 2 arcade games, which is Mega Man and Mega Man 2. And then 3 Super Nintendo games. So it does have a Super Nintendo emulator running in the background. There's Mega Man Soccer, and then Mega Man and Bass, which I think was a Japanese only version or release. Street Fighter has a lot of variants. Your Super Street Fighter 2s and Turbos and Champion Editions, all that good stuff. And then there is a Super Puzzle Fighter 2, which is a nice little mix up there. There's a system running. It does look like it's a pretty good size. It's got an 8-inch screen, 1024 by 768 LCD. It is in 4:3 aspect ratio. 6 buttons and a ball top joystick. Start, select, tilty screen so that if you're standing up, you can tilt it up towards you. Sitting down, tilt it down. Volume knob and power button, as you would expect. These speakers are supposed to be 10 watts, 2 of them, and it's super bass. There's a little of the interface. It does have HDMI output, headphone, and power. HDMI does go out, pump out to your TV. Just another screenshot of the interface. Some accessories include 2 joysticks, which look to be the exact same size of the console itself. So it's like they just broke it out. There's your 2 USB dongles. So this thing is not internet wireless. It is wireless PvP, or wireless link up, I guess is what you could call it, where you can play with someone else in the same space. And we're going to get into that a little later. So this is just the system kind of in different areas of your home and how it looks with all your other normal things. But yeah, this is coming out October 31st. We're going to get into some more stuff now. So here's a screenshot of one of the menu elements of the system. I believe this is a music player. So I don't know if all the games feature a music player, but there are definitely some games that do. The reason why I think that is because there where it's highlighted for Capcom logo on the far right, there's a little play button. And that all kind of just reminds me of like the music player in like the Unibios, or even in Final Burn, when you can actually kind of go in and even if you look at like a console version of a game where you have the music player, and that's kind of what the titles are. It'll have title and player select, opening stage, stage select. So I have a feeling that this has to do with just the music player that's embedded into the system. So that's kind of neat. I mean, I guess you can listen to some of the tunes that are featured in some of the games. I don't know if all the games feature this. I don't know if it's like the Astro City Mini where just some games do. But it's kind of cool. So this is a screenshot of the 2 arcade sticks. But really what I want to focus on is the fact that they're plugged in to 2 USB ports. So that's promising for any hackers out there that might want to get into this system and figure out what it's made of. Those dongles also are USB, which we're going to see a little later. But those are 2 USB ports, so that's definitely a way in. Alright, so this is TV out. This is your HDMI out to a television from the system. If you look at the bottom center, it is clear that the system stays on while you're outputting to a television. The upper right hand corner of the TV screen, you see that music symbol. So again, I think that goes back to the music player feature that's in the system. The user interface looks a lot like the Hilo Stick, or I'll just say Arcade Stick Pro. There are some design elements there that kind of look like Vectorcraft's theme, his brawler theme with that little chain link fence, but not going to get into all that. But it does look a lot like the Arcade Stick Pro in terms of the interface. It's got flat covers. You scroll from left to right. It's got your options. It even gives you a little menu on the bottom corner on what the buttons do. Um, Cool thing about this though that I do like is the fact that the cover changes as you select it. So if you look to the left of the Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo, it's just a flat cover. But if you as you select it, I'm sure that that's what you get. You get of a more dynamic version of the cover. So this one has Super Street Fighter 2, the logo, and Ryu. They're kind of punching out, which is kind of cool. And so I think as you're scrolling, that's how you know that where you're at by the way the cover changes. So that's kind of neat. I do like that. Um, and then there's just going to be some more images here to show you that. So this is a quick screen grab from their website, advertising their USB dongles or peer versus peer or player versus player dongles. It's just a wireless connection for a link up. It's not really a net play situation. You're not going to be able to play online or play with your friends across the street, let alone around the world. You can see here clearly it says no more than 10 meters distance, so that's about 30 feet, 35 feet that you can have them separated. So that's a big disappointment. I think a lot of people thought that it was going to be wireless net play, or when you hear wireless, you're thinking internet, I'm sure. So what do you think about the system overall? I mean, you've seen it's got 10 games. It's about $200. The accessories, the arcade sticks are going to be like $64. These dongles are like $35. So all in, that's a pretty penny, man. You're at $300 even if you just get one arcade stick. If you get two, you're over $300. So what do you think about that? The system itself, the design of the system, a lot of people don't like it. They think it's ugly. It looks like an old 1950s television. Maybe they took it too far back with the retro. It's only got 10 games. They're not all arcade games either, so there's some Super Nintendo games that are thrown in there. That's kind of strange. But what do you think? Let me know in the comments below. Is it something that you want to buy? Is it one of those things that if you think it's hackable, that maybe you'll get it because it is a little bigger than a Neo Geo Mini and an Astro City Mini? Um, but then again, if you're going to pump out to your television, isn't it ideal to have a smaller system? Because it's not really portable and it does take up a little bit more space. So anyways, tell me what you think about it in the comments below. Hope you liked the video. And until next time.